Hey, it's Local 4 here at the final day of the Shattering. I have Grace here and Tex Hooper. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing great, thanks. So we have a couple questions for you, Grace, we'd like to know. First, can you tell us what you do related to, Wonders of the First?
Yeah, of course. So I am, of course, an avid fan of Wonders of the First. I love the card game, but I am also the writer for Shotgun Comics. And I don't know how much y'all know, and everybody who's listening in know about Shotgun, but we are the first officially licensed canon stories from Wonders of the First, and we are a indie comic company, and I write all the comic scripts and some of the other stuff for that.
Wow. So when you go to writing the scripts, where does your head go? What do you do to prep, or your creative side? If I had to sit down, I want to write this comic, what advice would you give me? Where do you go to get those thoughts?
That's a really good question. So I work really closely with the creative director, and he kind of gives me I want to get from point A to point B in this comic, in the larger story that we've conceived. And then it's kind of, for me, writers talk about being planners or pantsers. I tend to be a pantser. That means I write by the seat of my pants.
Okay.
I just sit down at the computer and go, brain, make word go. And words just start happening. And when my brain doesn't want to do that, I have a playlist of movie soundtracks like Lord of the Rings, How to Train Your Dragon. Lady Hawk has a fantastic soundtrack. Put in both headphones and keep plugging, and the ideas kind of just come to me as the story goes, particularly what the characters feel like they should do next.
What's been your biggest challenge in writing the comic books?
I am not a particularly witty person. I'm not snarky. I'm not, quippy is probably the best word. And one of our characters is very quippy. Mm-hmm. And so trying to get the dialogue to be just the right amount of biting, witty, and everything all at once, very Deadpool-like, is a struggle for me. And I get some help from Gabe on making sure that has the right zing to it.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite character you like to write?
Ooh.
Too?
I really enjoy Emma. She's probably the character that's closest to my personality, and so she's a little easier to slip into the headspace of and figure out what she would do. But our new series, Sigrid, she is also such a fun character to write. She's not as easy, but she's kind of quirky, mischievous, Captain Jack Sparrow, Viking Queen. Sometimes I wish I was more like her.
Oh, wow.
What's next for Shotgun? What's coming down the road?
Let's see. Issue 3 just went out on digital, so it should be coming out in print at some point.
In the near future.
In the near future.
Is it digital right now?
It is digital right now. Digital.shockem.com for anybody who wants to read Emma Rise of Mythic issues 1 through 3. Digital.shockem.com. And then we have our Sigrid series that is pretty close to being done, being illustrated, so that should hopefully be coming down the pipeline soon. And then we have a series that we're looking forward to y'all finding out about. If you dig around in our newsletter, it's been announced there. We haven't done it on Instagram yet, though, so that should be coming in the next week or so.
So I have a question for you, and you can always say no comment. So last night we were looking at the posters and the artwork for Rend, which is a spell card in Wonders of the First. There's a woman on there on fire, and when I looked closer, I felt like that armor looks familiar. And then someone said, "Oh, I think that's Emma." Do you know anything of that? And if you don't, that's okay too. I'm just curious if Shotgun has any insight on that.
I think I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so
that's what I said. You can say no comment, but I'm just trying to put all the pieces together because there was that Phoenix Cool writing a letter to Emma. I'm like, whoa, she's somehow connected to Sulfera. She's on fire on Ren. That looks like Emma's armor. So once again, not to put in a spot. You can just say, I'm not saying anything, Loco.
What I will say is that I think Wonders has, the Wonders team in their universe has a lot of fun plans for Emma.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's good enough for me.
Nice. Well, thanks for being with us. This has been awesome. It's great to meet you and hear a little about you and Shockham. If anybody wants some Shockham merch, I know there's a promo code
Yes.
for the Shattering.
The Shattering, no spaces, no capitals. I think it's 20% off a t-shirt.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks
Yeah.
so much, Grace.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.